Title: If you feel behind, you're exactly where you should be. Part 1: The Hexagon, the Law of Timing. Everyone thinks they're late. Late to success. Late to love. Late to meaning. But time isn't running out, you're just looking at someone else's clock. Comparison is the fastest way to lose momentum. You start doubting your progress because someone else's chapter looks louder than yours. But you can't measure growth by noise. You measure it by alignment, how close your actions match your intentions. The hexagon stands for structure, and structure is what protects purpose from panic. When you have form, you stop chasing other people's pace. You move at your own rhythm, one built from patience instead of pressure. You don't plant a seed and dig it up tomorrow to check if it's growing. You water it. You wait. And one day, without warning, the roots you couldn't see become results you can't ignore. Stop rushing your story. You're not behind. You're just early in the chapter where most people quit. Think about it. Every season serves a purpose. Winter doesn't hate spring, it prepares it. The silence, the struggle, the stillness, that's not delay. That's development. Timing only hurts when you compare. It stops hurting when you realize everything you weren't ready for would have destroyed you if it came earlier. The delay was protection disguised as frustration. Most people fail not because they're unqualified, but because they can't wait long enough for the work to mature. Patience is a discipline, the ability to sit still while momentum builds underground. Structure your time around process, not pressure. Create a rhythm that rewards consistency over chaos. You don't have to do everything today. You just have to do something every day. The hexagon reminds you. Order before opportunity. Foundation before fame. You don't need to move fast, you need to move right. So breathe. You're not late. You're learning rhythm. You're building capacity. The timeline isn't your enemy, it's your teacher. It's not delaying you, it's developing you. That's the law of timing. What's meant for you arrives when you can carry it without dropping it. That's not luck, that's readiness. That's the hexagon. Patience over panic, structure before success. Part 2: The Triangle, Purpose Under Pressure. Pressure doesn't mean you're failing. It means life is testing if you can carry what you said you wanted. Everyone wants purpose until it starts feeling heavy. But heaviness isn't punishment, it's confirmation. You're being stretched to match the size of what you asked for. The triangle represents drive, the inner fire that shapes pressure into purpose. It burns away what's weak and keeps only what's necessary. That's why the road gets narrow when you're close to alignment. Distractions can't fit through discipline's door. Most people pray for opportunity but forget that opportunity always comes disguised as work. A door opens, and behind it isn't comfort, it's challenge. You get what you want when you can stay calm in that moment instead of running back to safety. Purpose lives in that tension between excitement and exhaustion. That's where transformation happens. You stop chasing hype and start chasing precision. You learn that motivation fades, but consistency builds identity. Pressure is feedback. It shows you what still needs refinement. When things fall apart, it's not the universe rejecting you, it's rearranging you. It's removing the things you can't carry into the next level. Don't mistake resistance for rejection. The path gets harder when you're getting closer because the weight gets real. Every level of growth comes with a new load, and purpose is the strength to carry it without breaking form. When you feel like quitting, remember why you started. That first reason is still valid, it's just buried under fatigue. Dig it back up. Purpose doesn't disappear, it just waits for discipline to find it again. Pressure also exposes priorities. It forces you to choose between temporary comfort and long-term clarity. Most people run back to comfort. Leaders stay and learn how to breathe inside discomfort until it stops scaring them. Every difficult moment is a negotiation between who you are and who you're becoming. The question is, which version do you feed? If you can stay still inside the struggle, you're already winning. You're not behind, you're building endurance. The triangle reminds you that fire is never wasted. Even if the plan burns, the strength you gain from holding the flame remains. That strength becomes your confidence, not loud, but steady. Don't rush this season. Don't wish for less pressure. Wish for stronger shoulders. Wish for cleaner focus. Because that's what purpose feels like, heavy at first, but it fits better over time. Every great thing you admire was once built under the same weight you're carrying. They didn't rise because life got easier. They rose because they stopped running from the process. That's the triangle. Power through patience, drive with direction, purpose under pressure. Part 3. The Circle. Legacy in Motion. Once you stop fighting time and start working with it, you find rhythm. And rhythm turns purpose into peace. This is where the circle begins, where patience, drive, and alignment finally meet. You no longer chase the future. You build it quietly through repetition. The circle teaches flow, motion without panic, growth without rush. You realize progress isn't loud. It's the small, consistent choices that start stacking until one day, everything clicks. Legacy isn't built in one big moment. It's built through hundreds of small ones done right. You don't remember the exact day you got stronger. You just notice one day that you didn't break where you used to. That's growth. That's the timeline working in silence. The circle reminds you that legacy isn't about being remembered. It's about being useful. It's what remains long after your name fades from memory. The systems, the lessons, the changes you left in others. You might never see the full result, but that's fine. The work still echoes. Stop treating every day like an audition for approval. Treat it like a deposit toward legacy. The return might take years, but it will return. The truth is, nobody is really behind. We're just in different stages of learning patience. The impatient plant dies trying to bloom overnight. The wise one digs roots first. The world moves fast, but purpose moves steady. You can sprint in the wrong direction and still call it progress. But real progress is silent. It's measured by alignment, not applause. The circle also teaches gratitude. Not the social media kind, the kind that grounds you. When you can look at what you have and see how it connects to what you prayed for years ago, that's perspective. And perspective turns waiting into wisdom. You'll notice over time that what once felt like delay was really direction. That what seemed random was refined timing. That all those wasted months were foundation, the ground beneath tea. You'll notice over time that what once felt like delay was really direction. That what seemed random was refined timing. That all those wasted months were foundation, the ground beneath the breakthrough. Legacy doesn't ask for speed. It asks for depth. And depth can't be rushed. So take your time. Make fewer moves, but make them count. Do the right things long enough that they stop being effort and start being instinct. That's mastery, when purpose becomes muscle memory. The circle closes the lesson. You're not behind. You're being built. Everything you think you've lost is just being reshaped into something that fits your next chapter. Let go of the timeline that says you should be there by now. You're exactly where you should be, becoming who you need to be. That's legacy in motion. Legacy isn't the end. It's the rhythm that remains when your effort becomes example. And that rhythm never ends. You don't need to rush what's already yours. Stay patient. Stay precise. Trust that what's taking time is also taking shape. If this message brought you clarity, leave a like, share it, and subscribe. Every transmission builds toward the next. One rhythm, one breath, one purpose. We remain.